Good morning, everyone. First of all, Happy New Year to all of you. Today, we are starting a new chapter that is natural resources. Myself, Kausar Momin, 7th standard subject science, chapter number 16 natural resources. First of all, I'll show you what type of natural resources present in our nature, images of them. Let's go ahead with the images. These are types of natural resources: sun, forest, rock, minerals, animals, air, oil, water, and soil, etc. are the types of natural resources. We get many substances from nature. They satisfy a variety of our daily needs. Soil, stones, minerals, air, water, plants, and animals on the earth are all various kinds of natural resources. So, that we have to see the natural resources in the earth crust. What type of natural resources presents on our earth? The earth's lithosphere is made up of land and hard crust beneath it. The lithosphere is not homogeneous but is made up of many types of rocks. Resources in the earth crust include minerals, ores, mineral oil, and other fuels, rocks, water, elements, etc. This is the image of lithosphere. You can go in detail as per with respect to this image. You can observe here the levels are there: solid, liquid, atmosphere, and the height of the solid liquid it comes with underground. So you can go through with this image also. Out of that, we are going to discuss about minerals and ores. Minerals wealth has an important place among natural resources. Minerals are formed by various processes taking place in environment. The rocks on the earth are mainly made up of minerals. These minerals can be obtained by mining. And you can observe here, this is the process of gold mining through this soil with the help of water. They are separating gold from the soil. You can observe here, this comes in mining process, separation of gold. Only a few metals, like for example gold, silver, copper, platinum, and bismuth, occur in free state in nature. Free state in nature means we are getting gold as it is in the nature. A majority of metals occurs in the form of compounds. Minerals that contain high proportion of metal are called ores. It is economical to obtain metals from ores. The properties of minerals become clear from their characteristics: color, luster, hardness, shape, cleavage, or structure on streak. You can observe here this diagrams gives you the idea for process of mining. Here in this table, you will get the idea how minerals form in the nature. So first column we will read and we go ahead with it. Minerals are formed from magma in the earth's crust and lava from the eruption of volcanoes when they cool and get transformed into crystals. Next is another type of mineral. Minerals are formed when solid crystal remain behind after the process of evaporation. Next is about diamond. Minerals get transformed from one form into another due to large changes in temperature and pressure. In that we are having an example of diamond and graphite. Some living organisms produce inorganic minerals. Example, conches, shells, etc. form for the protection of the body. All these things comes in the nature. So we can say it as natural resources. So here we can classify them as per their properties. So here we are having table. 3 columns are there. You can observe the classification of minerals according to their properties. So first of all, non-metal minerals, metal minerals and energy minerals. So in the non-metal minerals, mica, sulfur, gypsum, potash, graphite, diamond and feldspar. And in minerals, iron, gold, silver, tin, bauxite, manganese, platinum, tungsten. Energy minerals, coal, mineral oil, natural gas. So in this way we can classify them as per their properties. And the properties are metals, non-metals and energy minerals. Now we will go ahead with the important minerals and ores. So very important part is iron ore. Iron occurring in the impure state is called iron ore. In the nature we are getting iron occur in impure state. So that is why we are calling it as iron ore. Iron ore is used to make a variety of articles from pins to heavy machinery. For examples, farming implements, rails of railway tracks, etc. All this comes with iron ore. Next is point number 2 is manganese. Manganese occurs in the form of its carbonate, silicate and oxide. You can observe here. Compounds of manganese are used in the preparation of medicines and for giving a pink tint to glass. Manganese is also used in electrical appliances. Here you can observe. Next is bauxite. Bauxite is the most important ore of the aluminium. It contains 55% aluminium. Bauxite consists mainly of aluminium oxide. Aluminium is a very good conductor of electricity and heat. Its density is low, therefore it is mainly in aeroplanes, transport, vehicles and to make electric wires. Next is point number 4 is copper. Copper is found in the impure state in the vicinity of iron and other minerals. Copper is a very good conductor of electricity, therefore it is used to make electric wires as well as in radio, telephones, vehicles and for making kitchen utensils and statues. Next is mica. Mica is a bad conductor of electricity. Its value depends on thickness of its layers. Mica has many uses such as Ayurvedic medicines, dyes, electric machines and equipments, wireless communication equipments, etc. So based on these 5 ores, we can write their properties on their distinguish also whether it is good conductor or bad conductor. Okay, next topic is fuel. Various substances are used in our day-to-day life for generating energy. These substances are called fuels. Fuels are found in the solid, liquid and gaseous states. So here is the classification of fuels as solid, liquid and gaseous fuels. Solid fuel, commonly used solid fuel is in our country are like wood, charcoal, coal, cow dung, agricultural waste, paraffin and tallow. Tallow. Burning of these fuels often produces a lot of smoke and ash, which in turn can cause respiratory diseases. Coal heated in absence of air gives coke. Coke is used for extraction of iron in industries and for domestic purposes. Solid fuels require much space for storage. Coal is used in homes, industries and electricity producing plants to create heat and to exchange water into steam. Coal was formed long back from decayed forest and fossils of plants. So it is called fossil fuel. This is the extra part you should know about the idea of solid, liquid, and gaseous fuels. Okay. Peat is used as a fuel where other fuels like coal and oil are scarce. It is a partially decayed. Next is liquid fuel. Liquid fuel are made up of petroleum distilled thin liquids like kerosene, petrol, and spirit are used in homes and road vehicles, whereas thick residual oils like diesel are used to run heavy road vehicles, ships, and in factories. Kerosene is a product of petroleum. It is mainly used as cooking fuel for domestic purposes. It is also used to run road vehicles. Next is gaseous fuel. Gaseous fuels are used for domestic as well as industrial purpose. Some important gaseous fuels are natural gas, producer gas, water gas, coal gas, liquefied petroleum gas, which is LPG, which is at our home. Next is coal. Millions of years ago, forests got buried underground as a result of certain natural events. Layers of soil kept getting deposited over them. The very high pressure from above and the heat from the Earth's interior slowly transformed the buried plants into fuel. Coal was thus formed from the remains of those plants. That is why coal is said to be fossil fuel. Coal is found in mines, peat, ignite, which is brown coal, bituminous coal, anthracite, and the various types of coal. Anthracite is the coal of the highest grade. Here you can observe here coal is in a way a storehouse of carbon. It is burned to obtain heat energy. Coal is used as fuel. It is used as fuel in thermal power plants as well as run boilers and a railway engine. Coal is also used as fuel for cooking and for baking bricks in kilns or large scale. The gaseous fuels produce a gas and water gas are obtained from coal. Coal as an energy resource contributes greatly to industrial development. Here there can be a question for uses of coal. So please read it carefully. If you'll observe this diagram, what do you think in this diagram? Millions of years of ago, lot of aquatic animals present in sea. And thousands of years ago, it gets, the terms of them get decreases. And at present, there is aquatic animals gets diminished. So this comes with formation of mineral oil and natural gas. We will discuss what is about mineral oil and natural gas. Here is a table. Mineral oil is the liquid fuel formed by decomposition of organic substances buried underground. Millions of years ago, bodies of dead sea organisms sank to the bottom of sea. Layers of soil and sand collected on them. Due to high pressure, the temperature remains of dead organisms were transformed into mineral oil. The underground mineral oil is extracted through oil wells. Mineral oil is found mainly in oil sands, shale, sandstones, and limestone at a depth of about 1000 to 3000 meters underground of the water. Mineral oil is also known as petroleum or crude oil. It is greenish brown in many compounds, mainly of the hydrocarbon type. It is also contains compounds of oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. Petroleum is extracted through oil wells and refined by fractional distillation and separate other components. Aviation petrol, gasoline, diesel, kerosene, naphtha, lubricating oil, tar are all obtained from petroleum. They are used as a fuel and for production of dyes, pesticides, perfumes and artificial fibers. This is about mineral oil. Next is natural gas. All these are extra information about what are the things present in our nature. So how we are getting it? Natural gas is an important fossil fuel. It is found associated with petroleum in underground oil and in some places as natural gas alone. The main components of natural gas is methane, which is CH4. All these things we are having in your next stage. Right now we just have to go through with these things, okay? While ethane, propane and butane are present small proportions. Natural gas formed from the remains of organism, burite, deep underground and subjected to high pressure. This fuel can be carried over long distances by means of gas pipeline. But in the absence of network of pipelines, it is transformed under high pressure into compressed natural gas, which is CNG, and liquefied natural gas, which is LNG. This makes it is possible to transform gas. At our home, the gas which we are using, that is LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Petroleum gas is obtained during refining of crude petroleum. Petroleum gas is transformed into liquid by subjecting into high pressure and reducing its volume to 1:240 of the original. It is stored in thick walled steel cylinder so that pressure remains in the liquid state. As it comes out from the storage cylinder, it transforms back into the gas. This gas contains mainly two components, propane and butane, in the ratio of 30:70. It is an odorless gas, but a small amount of chemical called ethyl mercaptan, which gas a strong characteristics odor is added to it. This helps to detect any leakage of LPG gas immediately and thus avoid any accident. The demand for fuels has increased greatly due to rapidly growing population, but the reserves of fossil fuel are limited. It is becoming difficult to meet the increased demand. The likelihood of these reserves getting exhausted is known as energy crisis, as the reserves of fossil fuels, namely mineral oil and coal, are limited and the demand is increasing. Alternative fuels are coming into use. Hydrogen, biofuels, methanol or wood alcohol, ethanol or green alcohol are some of the alternative fuels. Today I'll stop my lecture over here. Today's your homework is some important minerals over. We are having 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You have to learn and write this 5 or.